Welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, where we have miracles happening to us, miracles in which we're participating, and where we just have comfort time to encourage and uplift each other. The story I want to share today is one that is about our duty as Christians, our duty as Catholics. Before we go into it, I would like to remind you to please continue to subscribe, like, hit notification bell so you don't miss out on any content, and also to share widely so that you can bless others. There may be many others who are not able to access this forum, but when you are blessed enough to do that, please share it with others. As Catholic woman and as a leader of the secular organizations as well, I've been to places where it has not been appreciated, the role of spiritual organizations, or should I say Christian NGOs. I find that in most places where they are not appreciated, it's because we as Christian women, Christian men are not doing our part. And I say this because I was blessed to be in a program or in an event again at the United Nations, where His Excellency Archbishop Francis Calicut, Apostolic Nuncio and Permanent Observer in the Holy See at the United Nations, he was giving a presentation on the importance of Catholic and Christian NGOs participation in the United Nations. A lot of talk had come up about how unnecessary it is for spiritual organizations to be involved at the UN, that the UN should be left to only the secular organizations. This was a problem because for us who know what spiritual organizations are, we know that in most cases the United Nations will not achieve everything they are hoping to achieve through secular organizations only. And at the presentation, after the Apostolic Nuncio gave his presentation, and there was a lot of attack from a lot of different organizations saying that whatever the spiritual leaders are promoting are issues that they, spiritual leaders with their own agendas, are pushing, that are not actually encouraged or supported by their members. I felt led to support the Nuncio's claim. Fortunately, I had proof of how the United Nations would not achieve most of the things they were hoping to achieve without the Christian and Catholic NGOs. Because as Christians, as Catholics, the way we package our information when we receive the information from the United Nations is very different. And when you look at our members, we have a lot of members who would not even pay attention to any issues if those issues are not tailored in the way that the church tailors them, if they are not packaged in a way that follows the social teachings of the church. So I got up, I asked if I could give a presentation on the issue, by God's grace, I was allowed, and I gave a presentation of how in Zambia, when it came to women in leadership and decision-making positions, how the United Nations paid for us, for my executive and I, to go through the entire country sensitizing women on leadership. This is because in most places, women felt that leadership was for men. We had places where even in the church, women did all the work, but when it came to choosing leaders, they chose the men. But they are the ones who were doing all the work. The men were just pending their signatures on the money. So we felt that it was necessary to do that. And the UN had been pushing those agendas, but we were not getting anywhere until we went with information packaged in the way that both men and women could accept. So we went throughout the country, sensitized the women, showed them why it was necessary for them to participate in leadership, explained how when we only have one leader, like when you only have a man, and a woman is not participating, it's like taking a race, running with only one leg while the other one is not functioning. So you will limp along, you will not go very far. But if the two parties are working together, then you'll be able to sprint. So we got into all the provinces, shared that information. It was well received, and we got to a place where the men now became threatened. They said, we are promoting women to be in leadership so that now we as men can be sidelined. So it became such a big issue now that the men really felt threatened. Again, we went back to the UN and explained where we were in our sensitization program. And the UN was gracious enough to say, what do you need in order to clear this problem? We came up with the funding that we needed, how much we needed, and they were gracious enough to fund us yet again and allow us to now deal with the men. Fortunately, there were men organization meetings taking place, and we were able to go to that meeting. We were invited, we were able to explain, and we were able to show them why it's necessary that we work as a team, why we have so much to bring to the table and receive what they are bringing to the table. So it's many other cases where you find women will not participate, men will not participate if they are spiritual people and the lessons are being given to them by secular organizations. And having said that, that brought a lot of clarity, and people could see that really it was very important that the spiritual organizations be given the space that they should be given. The same issue came again when it came to the presentation on HIV and AIDS. This I'm talking about now, the attacks on the church. I'm saying men in black because in the church we have men we call men in black, that we refer to lovingly as men in black. I'll explain later. So now what happened was that having advertised that the church is a spiritual woman, or the woman representing a spiritual organization is going to give a presentation on HIV and AIDS, a lot of people now wanted to know, what is she going to say? They made sure that the room was packed because everybody wanted to hear what was I going to say. Fortunately for me, I knew that that subject was going to bring a lot of controversy, because a lot of secular organizations are against the values of the Catholic Church. There's a lot of problems on what do you do with disconnected couples? What about the issues of condoms? What about many other issues related to HIV, where they felt the Catholic Church is fighting a losing battle? Fortunately, I took time before going to the UN. I sat with Father Michael Kelly, who has written many books as a priest, a Jesuit priest, on HIV and AIDS. And he walked me through all the lessons I needed to learn, how to answer to most questions that would come up because of that, and to make both the Catholics and non-Catholic understand that the Catholic Church is not fighting HIV and AIDS in a way that is promoting the spread of HIV and AIDS, but following the values as Catholic Church dictates. And after I explained everything, everybody understood, and now I can go back to saying the many Black congratulated me. When you come to the United Nations, you'll find that when it comes to the Catholic Church or to the Vatican representatives, a lot of our priests, a lot of our bishops, and most of our clergy wear black suits. So we as Catholics lovingly call them our men in black. So after the presentation, both the presentation with the Archbishop and the presentation with the HIV and AIDS program, they were so happy with my presentation. They all came to congratulate me and to tell me that I had defended the church well. My only take on this is that please, as Christians, as Catholic women, as Catholic men, as Christians of other faiths, when the clergy come up with programs, support them by also voicing out. If only the leadership, only the clergy are voicing out, they are misunderstood. They are told that they are promoting their own personal agendas, which are not supported by their masses, by their congregations. The only way we can show them that we are part of the programs is by also voicing out in support of what they have said. Again, we continue with our Comfort Time stories. Please continue to subscribe, like, and support the programs by sharing with other people. Thank you so much for listening. Continue to reach out to me in any way you feel comfortable by the contacts on the screen. God bless you. See you in the next video.